Joshua, all our love, Elizabeth, Dorothy, Victoria.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Joshua.
Your very own birthday bowl of quinoa.
Happy birthday, Josh.
It's Nanny Sarah
Grandad Stephen.
and Auntie Olivia.
We are your great-grandparents, Angela and John.
Great Nanny Pam and Great Grandad Eddie, wishing you a very happy first birthday.
Well, we can't believe it's been a year since you burst into our lives and changed everything forever.
I can't believe you're one already.
We both wish you a very happy birthday.
And a happy, fulfilled and loving life.
We love you so very much, especially your
Pals.
We look forward to seeing and watching you grow into a fine young man.
Frowns.
So Joshua Valentine, we wish you a very happy life.
And your giggles.
We hope you have an amazing day and we'll see you soon. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.
We love you.
We both
Love
you
lots. Mwah.
Mwah.
Guess who's back? Back again. Eddie's back. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Eddie's back. Eddie's back. Eddie's back. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Life Out Loud. I'm your host as always, Vishal, and I'm joined again by my brother-in-law, Ed. Ed, what day is this podcast launching?
Today is Joshua's first birthday.
Man like Joshua Valentine, 31st of the 5th, 2019. Don't know.
So it's the 31st of the 5th,
Yep.
2020. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, I had to bring my brother-in-law back. Because you know what? I want to know a few things. The most important thing, I want to know how it has been for you in a journey of parenthood. And we get so much information about how difficult it is for mums. And yes, it is really difficult for mums. And yes, there is so much that we need, that mums need to learn beforehand. But I don't feel like I've ever heard enough information about fathers. So today, I'm hoping you can add a little bit of value to fatherhood, parenthood,
Sure.
but as fatherhood as well.
Yeah.
But let's start right at the beginning.
Okay.
We'll go right to the
Yeah,
beginning.
right to the...
Tell me about the day you found out that your missus, my sister, Jana, was pregnant. Sounds a bit weird when you say that.
Yeah, it does. God, I remember it well. So it was just an evening, any old evening, but there's something which I don't think I've told you before. I'll tell you in a second. And ladies doing what ladies do, did whatever, did a test, came right down the stairs and said, Ed, I think I'm pregnant. Okay. Me, distracted by something else, carried on. What I haven't told you before is I actually had a job interview the next day. I said, yeah, okay, Jana, sorry, but I'm preparing for an interview tomorrow.
Wait, let me get this straight. So, Ed, I'm pregnant. Sorry, Jana. I'm preparing for an interview.
Yeah.
So it just literally went through one ear and out
Pretty
the other.
much, yeah, because we've been trying for a while, and you know. And then she said, no, again, I said, yeah, okay, I get it, but I've got to prepare for this interview. I've got new shoes that don't fit. What am I going to do? So I carried on as normal, and I thought, oh, right, carry on. Jana came back again and again, and then I said, right, okay, let's go and get some more tests. Went and got some more tests. They all came back that showed Jana was pregnant, and that was pretty much that moment. Then the next day, woke up, still didn't feel real. Went to the job interview.
How did you do in the job interview?
They phoned me the same day in the afternoon and told me I'd got the job, which is the job I'm in now. And then it got to the end of that day, and I was sitting there with Jana. We just couldn't believe what had happened in the last day. I couldn't believe it. I'd got a new job, and to find out Jana was pregnant
in 24 hours.
In 24 hours, and it was just the biggest whirlwind of 24 hours. It was unexpected, I suppose, in the bigger scheme of things, because we tried for a while, and it was just, just carry on as normal.
So once that actually sunk in,
yeah,
what were you feeling?
It's undescribable. It's one of these things I think until you're there, you can't really put it into words. But you just start running all these thoughts through your head about having a little boy or a little girl and what you're going to call them and all the things to do with the baby.
Anxiety?
Not for me, no. I don't think so. No, more about it sort of straight away the real feeling of I need to care for Jaina that a little bit more. Not that I don't care for her already, but do you know what I mean? That now it becomes she's the focus. Yeah. What are we doing? Everything right? Are we keeping you healthy enough? Are we doing enough exercise? All those things, because they do sort of start playing with you.
Obviously, because she's also carrying the child, so we need to make sure the child is healthy as well.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you need to make sure she's healthy. But what about your emotions? Like, they must have been everywhere at that point. 100%. So talk to me. So what I really want to know is, tell me about a low point of actually becoming a father. What would have been the low stresses that you were thinking and like, what if this happens, what if that happens? What was that feeling like?
I think the biggest thing for me mentally was just, it's probably the same for a lot of people, because miscarriages are a big thing. They're a very common thing. So I think it was that mental thought that it could happen at some point, but you try and get to the milestone. So you do everything you can, you get to 3 months. 3 months is considered a safer moment. And the next scan, and every scan is like a checking in of if everything's okay. And I think that was probably one of the biggest stresses on my mind, because you just want everything to be okay, but you just don't know. And then you have the last scan. That's it. You just got to see if you can get to the end or whatever. That for me is always there was an undertone of continuous worry and thought about, is everything okay?
And what's the best way to prepare for that, would you say?
I think you just have to be as positive as you can, until told otherwise. Until everything's okay. We had a couple of little mishaps on the way. Jane fell over a couple of times in icy weather. Remember, she called me one lunchtime and she was crying. She's fallen straight on her tummy. Things like that were obviously a bit of a shock. But you just got to try and keep positive, keep a positive mind frame, and just think that until you're told otherwise, it's all good.
And now tell me about one of the highs going into before the delivery room. Let's just say before the child is born.
I mean, it's in a weird way, it's one continuous high, because the excitement level grows and grows by the day.
The anticipation of getting
there. Yeah. I think I
felt that as well.
Yeah, and as you know, we had a lot of stuff to do in the house. We refitted the house upstairs and stuff like that. So it was a real busy time. And then once all that was done, it was like, we're ready. And then the excitement level just went up another level.
I think that's when my excitement level, because obviously I wasn't involved as much, but when I started seeing...
How did you find out?
How did I find out? You know how I found out. Well, I think the day that I found out I crashed your car, is that correct?
That is correct.
And I came home, like, I've got bad luck with cars, ladies and gentlemen, but that day was a real bad day. When I crashed that car, I felt so bad, because before it was always my car, but this time around it was my brother-in-law's car, and I was just...
That was a low moment, by the way, during the whole...
Oh, the whole process, that was another... I was, you know what, at that point, when I got out that car, I've never had an accident where I was shocked. Like most
I remember
times,
speaking to you.
Yeah, most times I get out of an accident and I'm like, okay, fine, it's an accident, and I know why it happened. I just did not know how this one happened. Yeah, I was in panic mode. I had to tell you and Jaina, because that's a fear factor. Then I was in panic mode thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to get all the way back home. I got work in the morning. So much was going through my mind, and I was just like, I've had enough. And then I got on the train, tried to calm myself down all the way, got back into the house, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have to explain everything again. And then I walk into the room and you guys have got something to tell me. So I walk through the room, and instead of me saying, listen guys, I'm really sorry, you lot turn around and say, we've got something really important to tell you, so take a seat. And I was like, I don't want to sit down, I've been sitting for so long. I remember I said, I don't want to sit down. So I stayed standing, and you turn around and go, your sister's pregnant. And I sat straight down. And I was like, excuse me? It's like, Yes, she's only 2 months because you lot were waiting for the 3 months barrier.
Yeah.
But at that point, because of where I was and how I was
Yeah,
feeling, you thought to cheer me up.
Yeah.
Little did you know you did not cheer me up. Well, I mean, you did cheer me up, but you just put another world of emotions into my head, and I was already dealing with a world of emotions. And when those two collided, I just did not sleep that night. But yeah, that's how I found out. It's a good story. It's a really good story.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about some of the preparations you did to before birth. Like, did you go to any classes? I know Jaina was doing a lot of classes.
Jaina did a lot of classes because she always wanted a natural birth, but she couldn't have one in the end because Josh was upside down. But for me, I didn't really go to. I don't think there was much support really for certainly the hospital I was with in the way of classes. But I did go to one class at the very end. It was a dads to be class. It was like a half-day thing. It's you and loads of other dads to be in a room.
No mums.
No mums.
Okay.
And then there's
How did that make you feel being in an environment just with dads? Did that make you?
It was quite empowering. It was quite empowering. It was quite eye-opening. I think you could see some were visibly more nervous than others. Some were ready for it, and some were having them the next day. There was varying timelines as well. I think we were about a month away, but I do remember the very last comment the guy said. He goes, "I want to leave you with one thought." He was like, "What you have a journey now to go on with your child till they're 18. Picture their 18th birthday. They're sitting there with their cake in front of them, and they say a few words, and they thank you, and they talk about you. What do you want them to say about you? You've got 18 years to basically make what you want them to say about you." And it was a really powerful thing in me because it was almost like that. This is a one-time chance. It's not I can muck about for a bit, or I can't do this for a couple of years. Then I can decide to be. It was. I've got one chance, and it was a real sort of. I don't know. You sort of walked out the door thinking, I'm gonna give this everything I've got.
So, in 18 years, what do you want Josh to say about you?
I should have thought.
You've been in the class. You probably would have thought about it already. In 18 years' time, you've given everything you have. What would you want Josh
I
to
just
say?
want him to if he said the word thank you, I think that would be enough. If he said thank you for everything that you've done for me, I think that would be enough for me.
Which shows that he actually
valued everything that you've done.
Okay.
But it's crazy to think that everything that Jane and I do influences what he grows into. We mould his personality to a certain extent. He'll become his own person, but manners, the way he speaks, it's down to us to show him the way, which is it's crazy that you are responsible for a human and what they become.
So, like you said, Jaina had to. Well, she couldn't give a natural birth, so she had to have a cesarean.
Yeah.
So there was a date already put in.
Yeah.
You knew the day your son was going to be born, but what you didn't know was that you was going to have a son.
No.
Because you guys decided to keep the sex hidden.
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly, I always thought it before, and I can obviously confirm it now. Best surprise you will ever get in your life. As far as surprises go, it's your first baby. What, in my opinion, why would you want to know what you're having? And I know some people like to do it because they like to prepare. They like to set the room up pink or blue or whatever. We just said, secret, best surprise you can have. Every scan we went to, we said, we don't want to know, we don't want to know, we don't want to know. And then when I finally got into that room and we heard a baby cry, so after like a 1.5 hours, baby cry. So the baby was there. There was a curtain. They held his head up so you could see the baby's head. And they said, "Are you ready?" And we said, "Yeah." We're both crying at this point. Dropped the curtain, and then that's when we found out he was a boy.
So
only at that moment.
With that story,
yeah,
there comes an amazing picture that I've seen. Yeah, I'm not going to put that picture out there, but that was a picture of. They say a picture can paint 1,000 words. Yeah. That was probably 1,000,000 words. Yeah. I saw the reaction in your face. I saw the emotion in your face. I saw the reaction in Jaina's face. Bearing in mind she's just been cut open as well. So and her face and you see the baby as well. And it's just one of those moments where you could just see life has changed?
Right, happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Say it. Can you say it?
Say happy birthday.
Sorry you have to spend your first birthday in quarantine, but I'm probably going to break all the rules to come see you anyway. So will Mr. Cool. Your mate. Not by choice, but you have to be mates. So have a good birthday, and I'll see you on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day.
What I want to get to now is your journey home. So let's just say we've had a cesarean, so you knew the date of the baby.
Knew the date, yeah. So you drive.
By the way, guys, the reason why I'm wearing a Liverpool top, Josh is also a Liverpool supporter by default, because the day he was born, Liverpool also picked up the 6th Champions League title. That's correct, right?
I think it was the day off. No, no.
High five.
No, it's a battle I'm never going to win.
High five.
No.
No high
five.
No high five. High five. No.
No
Okay.
high five.
Okay,
No.
fine. Yeah, so it was about like you never. We are Liverpool supporters, as you can tell. This household is Liverpool supporters only. My brother-in-law is an Arsenal supporter, but we decided that because Liverpool did win the 6th league game.
Did we decide? Or did I agree?
Anyway, it's an argument for another day, I guess. But yeah, so that's how it happened. But yeah, so the journey home.
Yeah. Craziest feeling, because baby arrives, you've got experts around you doing everything they need to do, testing, making sure baby's feeding okay. And once you're in
There was actually a problem that day. He was the feeding.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't feeding properly, so his sugars went really low, and then because they're so new to feeding, then they basically stopped feeding, and then so we had to spend an extra day in hospital. But you know, when you've got all the experts around you, you think, oh, everything's okay. You know, it's all good. When you walk out of that door, and you've walked in, and there were 2 of you, and you're walking out there, 3 of you, and there's no more experts to look after you. You put the little car seat in the back of the car, in the back seat. You start the car, you drive out the hospital, and you drive at about 10 miles an hour. Because you know what? Because you're like, there's a baby in the back, it's just born 2 days ago. And then all the way home, you're now responsible for this human. You are, this is yours. You come home, bring it into the house, which is always a nice thing. It was really nice, everyone was waiting for us. Yeah, but it's just nuts. It was crazy. When it's planned, you drive there, you know that the baby's coming, but you know, I was so relaxed and calm. Driving there, got a coffee, it's all right, baby's coming in a couple of hours, it's all right. And then you leave with the baby after a couple of days. Madness. I can't describe it.
You know, I just saying it gives me goosebumps, because I'm thinking about the day it happened for me. Like, you're going somewhere and you're coming back not on your own, or you're going there together, you're not coming back just you two, there's another one.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It's amazing we can bring life to this universe.
100%. Jane and I still sit there and say, we created that. He's a little bit of us. You know, it's the best thing.
Well, more you than Jano, because
you think?
Yeah, well, because he's taken no brown.
He's got all dark features.
Yeah, but he's got no brown skin colour. He's a white walker. My little white walker. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was, obviously you've got a mixed race baby, which means it's mixed in cultures as well, mixed in religions as well. Did you guys talk about the upbringing of the baby beforehand, and what have you learnt about our religion now that there's a baby there? Because not in our religion, our culture, there's a lot of things that our culture do that our religion don't do, but I know you learnt so much through the wedding and the 5-6 years you've been there, but there must have been, now that there's a kid involved, there must have been things like, you're like, wow, I did not know about this.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, you know, with marriage and everything, so many traditions, and you probably remember me back then, I was probably nervous of those kind of occasions because I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
Now I go to them and it's like, I know what's going to happen here and that. And it was the same for Josh. You know, Jane would say there was this tradition, that tradition, and it was all new for me that she's seen before. I had a little bit of insight from your cousins, but I love all that. You know, for me, that's a really interesting thing, which I unfortunately haven't had in my upbringing is kind of traditions, or cultural traditions, or whatever. But I love the fact that Josh is going to be able to explore and experience 2 cultures, 2 languages, probably 1 set of traditions. We don't really have many traditions, I would say.
I'm pretty sure you will.
But there are things that he'll get from my culture, or kind of background, and things that will be completely different from Jaina, and it'll just be a really nice blend for him. And to learn 2 languages from scratch, I think is always that's the blessing, to have to
2
know
2 to 3 languages.
to be brought up on
really,
2 or 3 languages is brilliant. But yeah, it's really nice for me to experience the traditions of it all, and Josh will benefit as well.
So in the last year of parenthood, what's been your toughest challenges?
My toughest challenge.
Sleep would definitely be one.
Sleep's difficult. Sleep does lack of sleep, I should say, puts a strain on a lot of things. I think initially, you're there for the first 2 weeks, paternity leave, which obviously isn't great in this country. And you do spend most of those 2 weeks, you don't sleep. You run around because, especially in Jane's case, she was in bed, she couldn't move or whatever. And then bam, you're back to work. Everyone carries on at home. You just carry your job. And then when you come home, the focus is still very much mum and baby, which is fine, it's totally acceptable. But I think it is also a bit challenging for the male, because you kind of have to just slot back in, or just accept that, that is the priority, and do your thing and go to work, and that does have its challenging moments.
Yeah, so that brings up an interesting point. So firstly, those 2 weeks, you didn't get much time with your son, because obviously there's so much going on with the mum, but then we had all the relatives over, constantly people coming in and out of the house, which meant that you was either hosting or running around. So those 2 weeks were pretty much 2 weeks, because of our culture, that you got 0 chance to spend with your son. Then you're going to work, not being able to concentrate probably at work because you've got a son at home, and then you come back and you're trying to slot in because everything's already happened throughout the day, and you're just picking up loose ends, which means it's been really that's probably the most difficult, challenging time as a parent for you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the first 3 months were very, very tough.
So if you was to give advice to anyone, what advice would you give in those first 3 months?
I think you just got to just try and stay as positive as you can, but just accept that you aren't priority. People won't ask about you or whatever. You just got to get on, do your thing, and just be involved as much as you can, because the way that the situation, I would say, in my experience, is that there's a tendency for you to just not be involved, and then you miss out. And you don't want to miss out on anything at all.
So there's adulthood, and then there's parenthood, isn't it?
Yeah.
So adulthood, there is always priority with you, your partner, but then when it comes to parenthood, you're trying to say, look, listen, don't worry about your priorities at that point. It's really about the child, and the first 3 months, just don't let that affect your feelings, because that can mess up with your emotions and how the relationship will work as well.
Definitely. Yeah, and you're tired. That's great advice, by the way. Yeah, you're tired and you're busy with work, and it's the first 3 months whirlwind, and then after that settles down. You get through that period, and you stay mentally strong. I'm not saying it's easy, but it becomes easier.
It becomes easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's highlight some of the things that you've done as a father that just makes you, when you look back this year, you'll be like, wow, that was amazing. So highlight a few of the things that you would say, you know what, that was amazing.
I think, although we are in a very sad situation right now, although it's got better recently, being at home for the last 2 to 3 months has been incredible, because I would, in no situation in life, have ever been able to spend that time at home with Josh. And every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, bath time, everything. I see him all day, He calls my name, you know, you've heard him. But
Doesn't call my name.
well, I think he calls everyone Dada, but I'll take it. But, you know, our bond, I feel like our bond has gone up a level. And I don't think it would have done if I had been at work those 3 months. So
I think that's been one of my worst memories in the last, because you being at home for the last 3 months means he just doesn't care about me. Like, I come home and he doesn't even acknowledge me anymore. No, but yeah, your bond in the last 3 months has definitely, it's gone. It was already quite high because I think he was already a daddy's boy anyway. But he's definitely settled. It's daddy's boy. He's always looking dada, dada, dada. I come, it's just like dada.
Yeah, so that's definitely up there. And then I don't know. I mean, we had a nice holiday, didn't we? That was you know, Josh's first holiday.
I think that for me was
that was amazing.
Yeah,
it was going to America, where you know a lot of your family live.
Happy birthday, Josh! I love you and miss you so much. I can't wait to see you. Mwah.
Happy birthday, Josh. I wish I was there for your birthday. Really missing you. I wish you the best forever. Love you so much. Once again, as soon as everything is clear with COVID-19, I will definitely come to England and see you.
Hi Josh, this is your Florida bar, your Radhe Radhe bar. I want to wish you a happy birthday, and I would like to let you know that we love you lots and lots and lots. We love you so much, and I was there last year when you were born. The most wonderful thing ever happened in our lives was when you came to this world and to our family.
And him meeting everyone and spending time in the house that you grew up in to a certain extent as well over there, and then jetting off to Jamaica for a little holiday in the sun. It was that was amazing. You know, it was like a really sort of family holiday that you probably hadn't had for ages with them as well.
Yeah.
So to do it with your you know, our family, but also a little new addition was just awesome.
I was probably 14 years old the last time. No, 13 years old the last time I went on a family holiday. 17 years later, because we brought in, because you guys brought in new life, was able to have an experience like that again. For me, that was one of the highlights of the year. I think I really enjoy taking Josh swimming.
Swimming is up there, and I miss that so much.
Yeah, so because
I really do.
It's amazing to watch. Like week in, week out, they get better and better. But you don't know how they remember these things. They're such a baby. But he remember he'd come home and in his bath he would start putting his head into the water in his bath because he learned it at swimming. So he was confident enough to put his head down and not be scared. And you just see that and it's like wow. And then he's diving in afterwards, and it's just like.
I know.
How did you get to do? You're not even 1 year old. I couldn't swim till I was 10.
Imagine we used to take him when he was 8 weeks old. You know, 8 weeks. He was tiny. He was just walking around the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a sadly we haven't been able to do recently. But that was definitely
incredible. Yeah.
There's so many. The list is endless. It really is. It's endless.
If you were to wrap up parenthood. This is going to be a difficult question.
It already sounds like a hard question because how can you wrap up parenthood in 1 year?
But for the first year. So this for a first-time father, in the first year of the baby's life, if you were to wrap up parenthood as a father, how would you wrap it up?
Generally, just enjoy it. Everything else should become second priority. Because it's your first baby. I'm not saying having a second or third will be just as amazing, but it's the first time you do it. And with the way our busy lives are, there's a tendency to get caught up in work and still go out and this meal and that meal, whatever. Enjoy your baby for the first year. Get involved in everything. Don't worry about the mess. Just enjoy every single thing he does. Every laugh, every time he eats dinner, every time you bath him, every time you take him to sleep, every time you read a book. Everything else can wait. That can't wait. So don't waste that time.
Those moments will never come back.
They will never come back.
I think that's the most beautiful thing you could have said. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Another thing we must enjoy is your birthday. And Josh, it is your birthday today. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh.
You'll see a nice little clip at the end of this of both your parents wishing you happy birthday. But I'm going to take this moment and say thank you for an amazing year, because you know what? You have literally made so many people happy. Not just myself, not just your parents, but so many people. And when you look back at the pictures and the videos, you'll see that you was just the light that we needed in this family. So thank you very much for what has been an incredible year, and I can't wait to see you grow into what is going to be a fabulous person, because I know your parents and I know they're fabulous, and I can't wait to see your journey in your life, and it's something that I look forward to very much. So happy birthday, Josh.
That's made me emotional.
Happy birthday, Josh. This is Life Out Loud, another episode of Life Out Loud. We hope to see the rest of our viewers on the next episode. Take care.
Hi Joshy, Mummy and Daddy love you lots. We've had the best year with you, and I couldn't have asked for a better son.
Thank you for bringing so much laughter, fun and excitement to our lives. You mean so much to all of us.
Yeah, you've brought lots of happiness to everyone around us, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. Oh.
Year 1, done.
Bring on year 2.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh. We love you.